Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, we're back. I'm back. We're back. Xbox Beastfire. We didn't shoot yesterday, but we're here today. Going back, we will be shooting the shows Monday around 7:30ish or so. I'm gonna try my best to have the rooms open a half hour before, so you guys can join on in. You know, share your, talk your trash. You know, you like to do in the comment section. Like I said, if everyone be so kind to hit the like button, tweet it out. We were having a little meeting behind the scenes. We got some new things that we're working on. Hope you guys are gonna love it. Anyway, so before we get started into today's show, while the room is still filling up, some of you guys, I don't know if you've been on here before. Have this your first time here, J-Wax, on Xbox Beastfire?
No, it's not. I'm Beastfire, baby.
Introduce yourself.
Yep, sounds good. What's going on, guys? My name is JS412. Shout out to the chat. A lot of stuff happened this month. A lot of games coming out. A lot of games came out earlier this month. And it is crazy. Real quick to the panel, if any of you guys want an autograph, you guys can get that. If you want to, I beat Cuphead the other day. So, yeah. So like, if you want to, go check the achievements out. But yeah, my channel is JS412. Go check it out. And I'm just glad to be here with some like-minded individuals and talk about video games. All right.
Up next, he's been here before, but Nethus, who's finally putting out some content. You had to introduce yourself, man. I know what you're about, what you're into.
What's going on, guys? My name's Neth, and yes, I stopped being lazy and I put out content. So you can go to me and have a video up at least 3 times a week from now on.
At least, listen, he didn't say that. He said at least 3 times a week. All right, so we're working on it. We're working on it, man. Who else? My man Mighty Moss, who came in and set the multiplayer on fire. Was the last or Thursday before last. Again, introduce yourself. Let them know what you're doing here on YouTube and what's going on with yourself, man.
Yo, what's up, channel? This is your boy MM2K, dropping that medicine, trying to do it on a daily, you know what I'm saying, on a routine basis, because there's a lot of sickness out here. Check out my YouTube channel. Check out my content. I got some stuff coming too as far as live stream, so just stay tuned.
That medicine.
That's right.
Post up, you there? The Dr. Dre of the Broadband Bullies album taking long. I mean, next one taking longer than Detox. Talk to us.
You already know what it is. It's your boy Post Up with the close up, Mr. Let's Talk About It. I'm glad to be back because today we got a lot of things to talk about. So, but me, I've just been behind the scene working on some things.
I see.
In regards to contents and things like that. So I am going to be more active and putting out videos and contents and live streams, but we also working. We also working on the Broadband Bully brand, and we got a lot of things. So make sure y'all subscribe to the Patreon, new logo, new everything. We getting it cracking. Let's go. I also got my Chicago thing going on. I got my Hell's Chicken with me on the podcast. If you know about Chicago and Hell's Chicken, you already know what it is. So it ain't nothing like a podcast with some Hell's Chicken. Let's go.
What's going on, Garrett? Talk to us, man.
Oh man, what's going on, y'all? This your guy Garrett from XBL Gaming. Y'all know what I do. Another part of that Broadband Bullies crew. We just got the new Broadband Bullies logo. That thing fire. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Got that thing out there. Everybody love it. You know what I'm saying? Y'all should have seen the whole process working with J-Dubs. Kept running it back by my boys. They're like, nah, something ain't right yet. Something ain't right yet. I see, you know what? They need that black, that red, and that white. Just like my favorite team, Falcons. I told you that's how I rock. Also, I've just been smacking down anybody who gives the idiot thought of Gran Turismo looking better than Forza.
No, look, okay. Well, you know what? That can be a perfect segue into today's show. I see that you did a video today. No commentary. You recorded about 10 minutes of footage. Now, I'm not a huge fan of simulation races, but those who know that, you know that about me, right? I'm more like the Horizon series or the Need for Speeds or the Project Gotham, Microsoft. But anyway, I see you're really into the simulation, right? You put a whole bunch of hours into Forza. Now, I was seeing some photos from Gran Turismo. And I didn't know they had a what you call like a photo mode. You kind of like doctor them up, so that wasn't in-game footage. But you have actually in-game footage. And Nina, may I say, it looks like honestly 2 different generations. It looks like a PS4 title comparing it to a PS4 title. But yeah, give me your thoughts about that.
All right, so let me throw a disclaimer out there first, because it was something I didn't do right when I was making the video, so it's not as clear as it should be. The video, even though due to YouTube, it's going to be a lot of compression anyway. So I apologize to anybody who felt some type of way. But either way, either if it's high quality or low quality, one still looks better than the other one. Does not matter, you know what I'm saying? And it's clear.
It's leaps and bounds, man.
Exactly. And a lot of people were out there. I just wanted to put that out there because I see people posting replay footage from GT Sport, and I turned on GT Sport and started playing at 11 o'clock last night. And a couple of my PC homies was on there. I was like, yo, man, this game looked like trash, bro. And my boy was like, nah. He was like, nah, it can't be. I said, I'm telling you, bro, I'm about to start posting pictures in the group. And then I was like, you know what? Nah, let me cap all this footage, man. I went to sleep probably like 4 in the morning because I was capping footage last night of GT Sport and Forza. I mean, I know a lot of people are going to say, well, it wasn't GT Sport on PS4 Pro. Bro, if I showed you with 1440p with ultra settings on Forza looks like, that's just 1440p. And when the X drops, it's going to be 4K with ultra settings. Like, trust me, the 1440p blows away the Pro's GT Sport. Like, it's not even close. Yeah, I don't know how people. That's why I didn't say anything on that video. I thought about saying something. I took it all off. I said, nah. I say either way, I wish you guys could have seen it the way I seen it when I was putting it together. Like, it's not even close.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. Like as somebody who's never played Forza before, I've never played a Forza ever. I'm not a racing guy at all. Same with I played the old Gran Turismo for like PS1, PS2. But as someone who's never seen the game in person, as soon as I saw that video, I was like, I thought that was I thought you were trolling. I thought it was a PS3 game you were showing for Gran Turismo. It looked that bad. So like, yeah, the difference is crazy.
And that's the thing, yo. Like, you got people on Twitter trying to damage control like crazy. Yo, Garrett, get behind the bumper. I mean, that's not going to make a difference. The texture,
it was the sound too, man. Like on Forza, like just the engine sounds and the shift and everything else. It just sounded like it was just a whole other level, man.
Two different worlds, man. Two different worlds.
You know what? Gran Turismo cars sound like vacuum cleaners. It sounds like even sounds terrible. Like the kind of electric sound they got in there with it, which is basically it's probably like the turbos or something. It just sounds like vacuum cleaner. I'm like, oh my god, why does it sound like that? It sounds like you're inside of a limo driving really fast. You know how limos have that like noise canceling thing. So it just like
man.
Forza let you hear it. They let you hear the engine. You understand what you in. You understand each different car. You're hearing it. You know what I mean? Like it's just. The sounds are definitely
this shit. What I would say is, because I've been looking at this too on forums and things like that, and people are using GT Sport demo reels and replay footage. Replay footage usually comes with additional post-processing effects, and often the frame.
Start this about the console.
This on every game. The replays usually come with additional or increased post-processing effects, as well as the frame rate usually differ from the gameplay. So sometimes replay might run in 30 frames, things like that. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people are, and then I know with GT Sports too, they have this mode where you're able to take pictures, and they got real life pictures where you can take the car model and sit it inside the real life picture. Nah, bro, you're cheating, bro. You can't do that. You can't get away with that, bro. Stop.
What's up, everybody?
What's going on?
What's going on, T-Reaper?
Yo, King's Blood, I don't know what you're complaining about. I went to bed at 9 a.m. this morning, so I beat you.
You got that, bro.
Well, again, though, like I said, how should I say this then? And to be fair, no, I'm not being fair, but Turn 10 Studios, right? And what's the name of the people that do the Gran Turismo series? What's the name? Probably something.
Trash
Polyphony. You know what? I want to say one more thing about the Gran Turismo. Like, I don't know what it is about that game, but it is like boring. Like, I don't know if it's the sounds or something that makes it just super boring. Like, I understand why some people don't like sim races. I'm like, oh my god, it feels like when you even in that video, don't forget what it looks like. Listen to it. It looks like I'm switching from Fast and the Furious to Driving Miss Daisy. Like, I'm like, what the fuck? Bro, it's crazy, man. It's such a night and day difference.
Yeah, it's a whole other level.
I don't know about you guys, but it's just night and day to me.
I'm on a whole. It is, man. It is.
Yeah, that video was
approved
hot.
it, yeah, right.
That video was hot, G. Straight up.
Well, again, like I said, to be fair, I try on this show to be non-biased as possible and to make gaming great again. But anyway, I said I could say this, right? Forever, well, for simulation race, I guess you can give Gran Turismo the series, I say the grandfather or the godfather of simulation races. You know what I mean? It's fair to say. And then you had Forza was the ugly little redhead stepchild in the room, right? And Microsoft, with Turn 10, that was the little engine that could, I think I can. And I remember, and again, I'm not a huge Forza guy, but Forza 5, it got slammed at launch for lack of content, a whole bunch of stuff, and which is crazy to me. Here it is in 2017 that we're in, going in 2018, and Gran Turismo Sport has less content than a launch game that came out in 2013. I think it had 83 cars, 86 cars, or something along those lines.
It has 158. But see, this is the problem with that game.
Yeah, right, they take the same.
Yeah, let me put this out there. In racing games, especially sim racers, a lot of times they have the same car, but with like it'd be tuned by different companies. So it'd be like the Nismo Skyline, and this one would be like the like on Forza is the Horizon Edition Skyline. You know what I'm saying? And like, yes, Forza 7 does have that where a lot of the cars are the same car, but it's just tuned by different people. But you got to understand, Forza 7 has 700. What is it? 700 cars, I believe.
Yeah, about 700. Yeah. As of
now,
yeah.
Gran Turismo does that same thing, but they only have 158 cars.
Yeah.
So,
hey Garrett, man. Hey, Garrett, I got a question for you, Garrett. As somebody who's played Forza, right? Like, put a lot of hours into this new game, correct? Right. New Forza. Explain to me, if you could, and maybe the chat too. How does the loot crate work? The loot crate system, is it pay to win, or is it like? Because I'm hearing a lot of mixed reactions on it. I'm right here for someone with experience on it.
So let me put this to you guys like this. Right now, you cannot pay for loot crates. You can't pay your own money with it. You buy it with in-game credits. You know what I'm saying? I buy crates full of mods. The mods will be like, if you drive with ABS on, you get 30% more credit, or 300 more experience points. You know what I'm saying? That's how it works. It's really nothing but a boost. Like, I'm a VIP member, so I'm supposed to get 2 times any credit I get anyway. You know what I'm saying? But Forza's working to get that back into the game because they took that out of it, and it was a real big backlash. But that's all it is to it. And think of it like this. Think of it as, I don't know if you guys have a Six Flags where you're from, but at Six Flags they got the regular lines, and then you got the Flash Pass lines. Yeah. Think of it as the Flash Pass line. You know what I'm saying? Like, you get to boost up and go up as fast as possible. Like me, when they put my Horizon, I leveled up fast because I'm a VIP member. Like, I get a lot of money. This game makes you work hard for that money. You know what I'm saying? If you're not a VIP member, yeah. And that's all it really is. It's nothing. You don't need to buy it. I race a lot of races without mods. In fact, because I didn't use mods in Forza 6, I raced a whole lot of races without the mods. I didn't even know until I looked at it. I'm like, hold up. Why I bought this game early? I bought the Ultimate Edition. Why don't I get 2 times the pay? Then I realized what they did. They gave us like 5 cards with 25 uses or something like that. No, it's 25 uses altogether between 5 cards. and it's basically 2 times pay, and there was a backlash for that. So they're gonna give us back to our 2 times pay forever.
Well,
so
the big thing I think people are scared of, man, if they are in fact gonna later down the road make these loot crates purchasable by actual, real money. Now, to you, would that be a big problem?
No, I don't like.
No?
Let me tell you something.
They
All it does,
you for them?
if they charge, let me tell you something. Either way, you will be able to pay for it with in-game money, or you could pay for it with. It'll be like Forza tokens. They got the same thing in Forza 6.
Mm-hmm.
You use Forza tokens. You have to buy the tokens. You know what I'm saying? So
Virtual
it is
currency,
what it is. It doesn't really matter.
What I mean is like somebody, let's say they introduce these loot crates I can buy or whatever, and I can just come in there and I can spend, $10, $15, whatever it is. I could be on the same level as you, right?
No, the reason why is because you're going to spend a lot more than $10, $15.
Exactly.
See, it has a tier system with the cars in your garage. Like, not only do you have to level up your driver level up, you also got to level up your garage. So I'm a tier 6 garage. You can't even buy certain cars until you get your tiers up in your garage.
Okay, so it's based on your player ranking and everything else as to what you can buy. Okay, yeah. I'm just trying to figure it out. I really don't know that much.
I understand. Like it's a cutoff. You can only you can get these. Yes, you could buy. Let's say I guess when it comes to the game, you'll be able to buy these tokens and stuff. Yes, you'll be able to buy good cars, but it'll only be tier 1 cars until you level up. You got to race in this game. They make you work for it.
So you still got to put the work in. That's what I want to hear about.
Yeah.
Well, okay. I didn't you join. D. What's going on, D? You there?
What's up, D?
What's up, man? Talk about that Gran Turismo.
Yeah, man. The Gran. Now you got your hands on it kind of early, like last year or something. You played it at one of these events or something.
Which game are we talking about here?
Gran Turismo.
Yeah, I played it last year. Yeah, I played it for the last 2 years actually.
2 years.
I mean, in your opinion, has the game gotten better? Does it look better than? Because you were like back then.
It got better. Yeah, it got better. I haven't played so much of it. I'm still playing through it, but I noticed that the cars are improved. They're much more detailed. The environments are a little bit better. There's some parts of the game that look excellent, and there's some parts of the game that just look like shit. The lighting is good in the game, although it's baked lighting. The lighting, I'll give it to them. The lighting looks good. I noticed a lot of frame rate issues. I don't know if anyone else is experiencing that, but I noticed in some of the replays that the frame rate was janky. So it's okay right now. I went through the licensing phase, and honestly, tell you, it kind of bored me. It's like, oh, I gotta learn how to corner here. Okay, I gotta stop on a dime here before I can get a license to drive this car and all. It's like, I don't know, man. It handles okay. It handles a lot better than it handled before. I have to say that. But Forza is still a league beyond it, and Forza is just a lot more fun. And personally, Forza looks better now. People are gonna compare Forza that's on the Xbox One S to the freaking version of the Pro, which is not the way we're going to do this. So
it's still
that's what they're doing.
I'm putting up a video of the PC version of Forza 7 up against the copy of GT Sport, and people are going, "Oh, we're using the PC version." Let's not forget that the PC version and the Xbox One X version are exactly the same. They look exactly the same. In fact, the only thing that I'm seeing different over the PC version right now, okay, maybe the anti-aliasing is a tidbit better, and you'd have to be like a real geek like me searching for it. The only big difference is really the frame rate. On a higher end rig, you're getting at 4K, you're getting like 80, 90, sometimes 100 frames per second. Where on the Xbox One X, it's 60 frames per second. So my video, I'll cap the video, the frame rates at 60, but Forza is in a league of its own. The car models are better in my opinion. The environment is a lot better. Like if you look at the grass in GT Sport, like the grass is like fucking garbage. Like some of the environments are just kind of really bland. To me, Forza is the better looking game, the better playing game, and it's a lot more fun in my opinion. Thus far, what I've played with Gran Turismo Sport.
My opinion on this is. People tend to look at minute things, in regards to these racing games. I think I remember back. I don't know if it was Forza 5 or Forza 6, where a lot of Sony fans were complaining about the characters on the sideline. They was taking pictures. They was taking pictures of the characters on the sideline.
You got to remember your elephant. Remember that, bro? Oh man.
Yeah, they was taking pictures of and they was really harping on about how people look. And the Xbox gamers was saying, "Hey, if you're driving, you're not gonna really notice those people." So now I look at that in regards to what they're doing with the pit stop thing.
Folks, I got to tell you something about that, bro. Before you get into that pit stop, let me tell you something. I seen people in the crowd on GT Sport, bro. It looked like somebody splashed paint, and it looked like the bleachers.
And that's what I'm
trust me when I tell you.
And that's what I'm saying is that, you know, that's not an issue now. Even though GT Sports have some environmental issues, it doesn't matter now. You know what I'm saying? It's not an issue with the Sony fans like it was with Forza 5 with the character models on the side of a game where you're going to 100 miles per hour. So, I mean, it's crazy. It's a clear advantage for Forza, being that, and I don't know who said this. I don't know who I was speaking to, but I think GT Sports would have better off been 1440p in 60 instead of 1800. I think they would have had a lot more room to enhance the graphics. But it is what it is, man. Forza got it.
Okay. Well, okay.
I would like to just get
Well, your mic.
Get your mic, man. Get your mic, man. Get your mic.
Brendan's in his microphone.
Yeah, his mic is 540p right now.
Is it working now?
Yeah, you're good now. What's I talking?
Okay, I'm gonna use that software. Anyways, I noticed the panel's kind of tiptoeing around this, so let's just call it as it is. Let's call a spade a spade.
Uh-oh.
This is simply a story of how the mighty have fallen. Now, I saw someone in the chat say GT is still king. Well, correct you. GT is fallen. You have fallen from graces. You have terrible sound design. Your game looks shady in some areas.
Wait, who said GT is king? What's his name?
I did not catch his name, but he said it in the chat.
Oh. He about to get exposed. I'm looking.
No, yeah, I was looking.
Before we Before we go all out talking crazy, GT Sports will outsell Forza 7. Trust me, I'll tell you.
Oh yeah,
but I mean, that's for all you guys who care about sales. I know how y'all do. You know, y'all don't get a single dollar from it.
that was Misty. Misty has said Gran Turismo was king. Misty is.
But hold, you know what though? Here's the thing though.
That's
even
to
with
be continued.
The sales thing, hold on, let me add this one thing. Even as far as the sales, the last Gran Turismo didn't do well. And they blamed it on the fact that the PS4 was coming out later on that year. But again, it's what they have an install base of 60 million. I should hope it should outsell the Xbox One version. Now, does it make it a better game? No. You know what I mean? That goes like the same. Like I remember when NBA Live used to outsell NBA 2K. You know, year after year. But it didn't make Live a better game. Now,
yeah.
I wanted to the guy that said that GT is king. What makes it king, or what made it king? Because I'm just talking about from improvement on what for GT Sport to be its. And we're gonna switch the topic. For GT Sport to have its next generation debut, maybe this may make a little more sense. Okay, for Sony, for this to be their flagship title. Okay, look where I'm going with this. And if I'm not mistaken, if I am wrong, I do apologize. They're only $1 billion franchise. For this to be their first next generation installment on the PlayStation 4, I'm not impressed. I would think that they will go all out for this game. You know what I mean? And you know, with content. So I was looking at someone had a comparison video. Drive Club. I'm not saying it's a better game. Looked better graphically in some areas than GT Sports, but. I'm sorry, not to cut you off, Neethus.
Every racing game nowadays looks better. Project Cars 2, all that stuff, man. That game looks horrendous.
In terms of Drive Club, we got to understand Drive Club is running at 30 frames per second. So they by running at 30 frames per second, they have a lot more horsepower to put into the graphics, and that's why it looks looks the way it looks. If that game was running at 60 frames per second, it would not look like that. In terms of GT and Forza, excuse me, I think it's perspective. If you like GT, play GT. If you like Forza, play Forza. But at the end of the day, Forza looked better. GT Sports, by being that we're in 2017, and I think this is the first GT game that has a livery system. Am I correct?
Well, I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
I can't think of any pads or previous GTs that had a livery system in it.
Right. Now here's the thing. I'm not the biggest racing car cat, you know what I'm saying? But if you use common sense, the biggest thing in racing games, right? If I'm wrong, is the look, the feel when you on the track, you know what I'm saying, and the environment. If Forza got all three of those, and those is the pillars of a racing game.
Oh man!
Then how can you say, you know, how can you?
Don't start that.
I'm just saying though. I'm just putting it out there for the panel.
Hey, listen, listen. I'm gonna say this. Take a little advice.
Talk about it, Moss.
Listen, take a little advice, right? You just start your channel, right? You just get into this YouTube. Don't come out there, man, pulling the curtain back on the magician, revealing all the tricks. You can't come out there like that right now. You know what I mean?
I got you.
You don't want that full pony of salt. I'm trying to tell you, man. Them guys, the dangers out there, man. Some ninjas, man. You know what I mean?
Hey, yo, as long as I got T Reaper, because T Reaper was handling it this weekend, boy.
I had a lot of fun doing that. That was a lot of fun, and I did that while I was walking at work. So I was walking and talking. I was doing both.
My man worked. That's dedication. He works 15 miles away, and he had to listen. That got me through my day. With me and my morphine drip here and my catheter, literally. But check it out, right?
You're entertained. That is all that matters.
You're not
hit that like button. Hit that like button.
I have a question for you guys. Now again, like I said, I've been a little out of the loop, and shout out to you guys for wishing me the well wishes and stuff. I'm looking at the screen. It's taking me a little slow to come back to the chat because I literally got one hand. I got a hole in my chest about the size of a grapefruit. But so I'm a little slow and moving around on this keyboard. And like I said, I haven't really been within the loop. You guys are filling me in there. I've just been so bored, and you know, I'm paying for it now. Sit up in this chair, but I just want to do something. Just laying on my. Neither here or there. I want to ask you guys something now. All week, well, not all week, for the last 2-3 days, I've been here. You guys started the show talking about these loot crates and pay to win and.
Can I just say something next gen real quick though?
Damn,
I don't want to type this. Whose choice is it to use those loot crates? Because we're not being forced to do it. We're making a conscious decision to press the button.
I'll get to you in a second, T Reaper.
You can help that. Well, no, actually, you can shoot right after that. But what I'm saying is this, right? Now,
bring us home.
Okay, so what I'm saying is this, right now. I've been seeing a lot of how you say it? What I say in my intro. I see your cries. I see your tears. I heard you. Heard your cries. I felt your fears. Now, is this a dangerous, a slippery slope? That where gaming is going? Now, the microtransactions, the play to wins. I'm just looking at going back to the start of the. Well, I actually, believe it or not, it started in the 6th generation. If I'm not mistaken, the first game that I recall. And if I am wrong, I do apologize. Having some type of DLC or something was Splinter Cell. I remember the Splinter Cell had Xbox Live on the box or whatever the case. It wasn't one of the first one. They have any multiplayer, but I don't remember if I paid for the DLC or not. The expansion, little extra mission that they gave you. Actually, I didn't pay for it. They gave it to you. Then they had like a couple little arcade games, and I guess they was just picking away at it with a pickaxe. And then you go to the start of the generation, right, of the 6th generation. Some games may come out broken, whatever the case, and they fix it with a patch. Don't get me wrong, games have always shipped with bugs, even in the days of the NES with cartridges, When we turned those bugs into gaming gold, little tricks and stuff, you can go over the board, fly with the board. But what I'm trying to say is this now. In today's climate, we had the start of this generation where they try to implement, DRM, right? And gamers were pissed off about that. And I was kind of on the fence about it. And the reason why I said it's because, again, since I've been doing this, I've told you guys that I've met a few people within the gaming industry. And I told you guys, then how used game sales kind of hurt the industry. Because I gave you guys a comparison. It's really the only business where you have EA competing against Activision, and they also competing against the store, you say, which is GameStop, which is in charge of selling their products. So if you go off in the store for $60, you're not guaranteed to buy a new game. You might buy a used copy of say Grand Theft Auto for $55, but that $54 does not go back within the industry. And that same set player get access to all of this service, the maintenance, and everything that they once gets, they get to have, get to use, basically, you know what I mean? So you have the backlash from that. Now we have, like I said, the microtransaction and now this loot crate. Do you think, are we opening Pandora's box? I know you don't have to do it. You know what I mean? I know you don't have to do it, but if they're going to put, I guess the way the game director or creator wanted the game, the full ending, you got to spend money for it. Is that kind of cheeky? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I don't think you pay real money for these loot crates, so do you? Isn't it
in some games you do, yes.
Yeah.
No, but in this game it's not. In Forza.
No, we're talking about
Forza. You know what I compare this to?
Shadow War, a few other games.
You know what I compare this to?
NBA 2K18.
My personal opinion is when you purchase a season pass, you should get every bit of DLC that they're going to release that year. I'll give you an example. I bought WWE last year. I bought the season pass, and there was a few characters that weren't included in it. I had to buy them separately. So why am I buying the season pass? What's the benefit of it if I'm going to pay more than what you're advertising it at? Just release the game with everything in it. Give us an option for DLC, and if we don't get the DLC, it doesn't impact the whole game.
Now, DLC is different from the actual ending of the game, but okay, I think you're going with that.
Yeah. This is different, D. This is like loot crates with little stuff that people get I know they used to always be about outfits and stuff like that, but now from what we're talking about right now, if I can beat the game without buying loot crates, I don't care. I'm sorry, but I just don't. Also, a lot of people that talk about multiplayer games about loot crates, let me tell you guys a secret. Believe it or not, the first couple weapons you get in shooter games are usually some of the best. Believe it or not, since all the way back to Call of Duty 4, the M16 was always the best gun in that game. Exactly. What else? In fact, even in the last Star Wars, one of the first couple guns was the best gun I had. I don't the guns you get later on in the game. They all got nice ups, but huge downfalls. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what people are complaining about. If I can still beat the game, I don't care. You know what I'm saying?
My feels on this is that I kind of compare it to back in the day when you had a game. You'll go spend about $5 or $10 on a cheat code book, and you'll unlock all the things within that game. I think nowadays, as the industry continues to make a push towards digital and content being on the fly, developers are going to find more ways of making money, especially in regards to what Z's saying in regards to used games and things like that, especially in regards to a lot of games not selling well, so they have to find some way to recoup on the back end. Now, is that good? Is that a good or bad thing? Because a lot of
I mentioned the question. Are we opening?
Because it comes out the
I'll wait till
one second. Shout out to Formal Cobra, dropping $2 super chat. He said Forza 7. All right. Remember last week him and Kim were battling on the multiplayer. Forza 7 got a 3.5 rating out of 5 on the Microsoft Store. All right.
A lot of this comes at the expense of the gamer, and I kind of agree with what Garrett was saying too in regards to if I can beat the game, I could beat the game without that cheat code book. But I also can go pay for that cheat code book. But nowadays, it's look like they just,
with cheat codes though.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. I'm
gonna talk on this once everybody's done talking.
It comes at the expense of the gamers, and that can be a good or a bad thing.
You guys being way too easy on this.
It can always be good sometimes. Believe it or not, like I told you guys 100 times, GTA 5, I buy a shark card every month, bro. For it's $100 for 8 million hours. I just do. You know what I'm saying?
That's what all this coming from. GTA and NBA 2K, in regards to those VC coins, have set, especially GTA, have set precedents. And developers are watching the numbers that GTA is doing in regards to the purchases that people are making to buy money, to buy yachts and do all that stuff on GTA, and the money that people are spending for VC coins to level up a basketball player. You think they're not taking notice? So they're going to find their own system to try to replicate that.
This is a cancer, man.
Let me throw this out here. Like, and big ups to Jay Fonzarelli out in the chat. You know what I'm saying? But he's out there. He said this is horrible. You can't support this. And I kindly disagree. Here's why.
I agree with him.
Here's why. We cannot stereotype all loot crates as I buy one crate and then I'm all of a sudden level 75, like Garrett said. You know what I'm saying? These mugs are in here to make money. So like Garrett said, the first weapon you get is going to be the best weapon anyway. The loot crates most times are trash. Let me give you a prime example. Mass Effect 3. I said to myself, when that multiplayer came out, I said, I'm never going to pay for no loot crate. You must be crazy. 3 weeks later, I ended up dropping 150 on that game, man. Look, and I was no better than the cast I was playing. I was still getting decimated. So you can say, oh, that's just you, MM2K. But no, the fact of the matter is that, yeah, you have some games that have microtransactions that are unfair, but some that have loot crates like Mass Effect 3 or Forza, like how Garrett said, or even Shadow of War, because Gaming Revolution just proved it wrong that this loot crate thing that everybody talking about ain't even for real. You know what I'm saying? We can't stereotype this. We got to look at it case by case basis and see what they're doing with
okay, well, my man, Jay Swags, you're biting your lip, you're biting your tongue. You want to dive in this thing head first. Listen, let me hear what you got to say now. The floor is yours.
Okay, thank you very much. This whole panel right now, I love all you guys. You guys being way too easy on this shit. And I'm gonna touch on something. D touched on this a tiny bit. When you pay something like NBA 2K18, right, $150 gold edition, right? That's the price of 2.5 games, and you still have all these microtransactions. People are buying gloves and 500 CC, whatever virtual currency for tattoos. You got to spend additional money on top of the 150 you already bought. So that's the first thing, right? But I made a video about Star Wars Battlefront 2, right? And you have the loot crates, or whatever they're called there in that game, and they give you certain power-ups, like maybe you get temporary shield buff, or 40% increase in damage for a certain amount of time. All this stuff that helps you in the game in a competitive space such as that. It gives you instant jump on a competition. But that's not even the worst of it. The thing I'm seeing now, and it's something that's been in the game for a long time, nothing new, but it's something that it's not. It's the gamer's fault, but it's something that they keep pressing on us that we can't accept anymore, man. You got pre-order bonuses, right? So you're getting, if you pre-order a game, you get early access to the beta, maybe 3 days early access. It's absurd, man. You guys are, is your argument that you don't have to buy these things?
No, it's a choice. It's a choice. It's not.
I raised the question. This is the question that I originally asked. I mean, are we opening Pandora's box, right?
Yes.
And when I say now, listen, all of the wristbands and stuff, you don't have to buy, and it doesn't really affect the game, right? I'm not talking about the costumes. Really, yeah, I'm not talking about the costumes, and I normally don't buy stuff like that. You know what I mean? The skins. I believe it or not, I think this generation, Gears of War 4 was the only game that actually spent money as far as DLC and wanted to get some of the characters. You know what I mean? The Locust or whatever the case may be. But I said when a developer or, these artists, directors, whatever, for these games, have maybe a certain ending to a game or whatever the case, and that's behind a paywall, are we opening up Pandora's box?
Yeah,
I know some guns or weapons or, guns, weapons, force fields are going to be OP.
You know what I think?
Whatever the case may be. Are we open? What I'm saying, are we opening Pandora's box?
Go ahead, post up.
I think the key word here is choice.
Yes,
gamers should have the choice of choosing between grinding through a game and still getting the same capabilities and access that you would if you was to pay for those loot crates. Now, whenever they take that choice away and they're forcing you to purchase things, that's when it becomes an issue. Because other than that, if I have free will to go into a game and pay for something to try to get an upper hand, then I'm cool with that because that's a choice that personally I have to make.
I hear what you're saying.
Whenever they take that choice away from me, we have an issue.
Yeah,
I hear what you're saying.
Before you go into a rant, J-Wags, all right, I just want to quickly add this. Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I think we have to, like MM say, look at it case by case. There are some games that do this well, some games that do this horribly. An example is Overwatch does it well. It's only cosmetics. It helps pay for DLC. I don't have to buy anything. I can just play with anyone. I'm never segregated. And there's no season pass. Halo 5 does this by having both cosmetics and weapons. And if you don't like the idea of the weapons, then you don't have to play Warzone, so it won't affect you. And as I said, Z over here, who doesn't really like Halo, actually played Halo 5 because he could get all the DLC. He could hop in, and he didn't feel left out. He didn't have to buy a season pass. However, there are bad games like Star Wars Battlefront 2, which is making a pay-to-win type style. And it's a full retail game.
I'm looking forward to Star Wars.
J-Wags will totally take this, but I'll give a brief summary. So basically, you have star cards, right? And these star cards have abilities if you level them up. For example, one is with Boba Fett. And if you fly with Boba Fett's jet, then yes, you will be invincible or something. And maybe other cards will make your gun stronger and so on.
Invincible? What do you mean? That's terrible.
Like he 100% less damage, something crazy like that.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'll let you go in, J-Wax, because you're
Here's
ready.
The thing. I understand what you guys are all saying. And post up. You know, I understand the freedom of choice, right? But here's the thing: these companies, some of the biggest games in the past couple of years, maybe like I'm thinking like 5-6 years here, are these free-to-play games, right? You got Candy Crush, Angry Birds, stuff like that. You know, just millions of downloads, and the biggest thing in the world. A lot of these companies are adopting this free-to-play mentality where, yes, the choice is yours, but the amount of XP you're getting or the amount of in-game currency is so fractional, it's so minute that it forces most people, they don't have the willpower. They'll say, you know what, I could grind on this for 300 goddamn hours to get this. I'm sorry, to get this skin I want, whatever, or I can just pay here's 5, 10, 15, whatever. But in a case where you're paying $60 for upfront price plus the season pass, $150, you get the Ultra Edition, Mega Edition, Super Edition, all this stuff, and you're still charging me additional money for content. That's what I'm trying to say here. So I understand the freedom of choice here, but if they're incentivizing you, they are incentivizing you to purchase these upgrades, these loot boxes, even though it's your choice. It's a much in most cases quicker route just to pay that extra money for this.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. If they're putting things in place to kind of
right, I'm not saying all games do, but a lot of games now are doing it, and that's what I call the free to play mentality. But the difference with those games are, if it's free to play, fine. You don't mind kicking up, maybe $5, $10, maybe even $30 if you enjoy the game. But if you're already charging the base price of $60 plus the season pass, whatever you pay for it, and you're getting charged additional money on top of that, plus you got to grind together. It's getting, like Z said, it's not the worst it could be right now, but if people are gonna keep buying this stuff, and they keep throwing the hook out there, and seeing what'll bite. And then the more they get a bigger fish and bigger, and it just keeps on coming bigger and bigger next time, tenfold. So that's what I'm worried about.
What? I can definitely agree with that, because if you look at a free-to-play game like Warframe, who have benefited greatly, because from where Warframe was when it first came out to where it is now,
like Destiny, don't it?
Man, they saying way better. It's what Destiny should be. But then I also look at a game like Gears of War 4. I paid $100 for Gears of War 4. To get the same content that I was already gonna get. I just get it a little bit quicker, but they never gave me anything in regards to the $100 that I paid to separate me from a person that went out and spent $60 on the game. Okay. I got the maps quicker. But other than that, you wait a few days, a week or so.
You know why they did that though?
That $60 purchase, you got the maps, So,
I'm gonna get home before I shout out my man King, he's also a VIP Patreon supporter for us. He dropped $10 in the super chat. Appreciate it, champ. Post, you know why they did that on Gears, and we have to be again call this big speed because of the player pool. Gears wasn't that behemoth that they thought it would be. That's why they quietly integrated the PC players with the console gamers. You know what I mean? So they couldn't really fragment the communities, the player pool so much. You understand what I'm saying? Because trust me, if they could have, they would have. You know what I mean? Make it like them. I ain't got the Mac press. I can't. You know what I mean? Don't get it twisted. It's not that Microsoft or whoever is just that much about this. It's still a business at the end of the day. And if you know, you got enough friends. You know, I remember back in the day, you know, back in the last generation from the 360, when the map packs would come out, and I had a couple of my son wanted to play, you know, on certain levels that his friends was on, and I didn't buy the map. He will be happy. Dad, I want all my friends on this map right here. You know, he will cry to get, you know, I mean, you know, to get the map packs, whatever the case may be. The reason, like I said, Microsoft really didn't probably push the issue with Gears or even with Halo, because, you know, they were kind of getting their teeth kicked in a little bit this generation, and Gears, you know, didn't really fly off the shelves, you know, like they, with the PC crowd and everything, you know what I mean? What they can, I think, did more damage than good, but we're not gonna open that box up again. But that's why. But I know, like I said, and again, before we switch to topics, are we opening up Pandora's box? I believe
so. Yeah. Let me get an answer on this. I think that we really could be opening up Pandora's box on this. But one thing we are forgetting about is that most games got rid of paid DLC to do microtransactions. Also, on these same microtransactions, it's not like you can buy certain things. You get a random box full of stuff. A lot of times, it'd be a box full of stuff you don't even want. Like even on Forza, when it comes to buying those packs of mods, you don't get what you want. You get a random pack of, most of it be junk. I'd be like, oh my God, sell this. You know what I'm saying? It's just that way. I mean, but you know,
yeah, Garrett, actually on that same topic though, people used to complain that DLC was bad, season passes were bad because they're selling you an incomplete game. So now that they found a way around this, provide you free DLC to give you a more complete game, we're still complaining even though it's optional. Like, to me, I think you have to draw the line. You have to look at the bigger picture here. Why are you upset that there's microtransactions when it's paying for other people's DLC?
You know, the fact of the matter is, too, man, we got to remember this. Like Z said, this is a business. It's taken up to $100 million to market and create AAA games now. Good point. You know what I'm saying? Now look at it. The prices didn't go up from last gen to this gen. So where you think they're going to get their money from? So them cats like me that wanted to get beat in the head with a cash register and drop 150, let them drop the 150. So the rest of y'all ain't got to pay that money.
You drop 150 for NBA?
No, oh hell no, no! I learned my no. I'm talking about.
I'm about to say you're part of the problem. I'm about
Mass Effect 3, yo, that multiplayer was addictive, yo.
So you are part of the problem. You are not.
You paid 150 for that bullshit.
I was
for a basketball game.
Hey, I'm gonna slide in here real quick. Yeah,
I'm here. Get your pen. Yeah, I'm gonna.
So this I'm with
your mic, man.
Hold on, Wax. Hold on. Say something.
Yeah, I'm on the beach, so this is just how it's gonna be.
That ball on the beach, right?
He had to call in.
So, but I'm with Moss on this one because
thank you.
You look at straight inflation. Like I remember, I'm young enough to, or old enough, however you want to play it. I'm old enough to remember when games was $80 to $120 a pop. When they used to charge us with how much the game cost to make, that's how much they charged the percentage based on how much the game cost to make. So when Mario was made and Sega came out and they put Sonic out and Alter Beast, those games are $89, $120. Now they went to a base price, $60. And for the last 15 years, every game been $60.
Yep.
And prices have gone up. Inflation is a thing. It's a real thing. So theoretically, if we just go with the base and inflation, we should be playing $95 a game. I don't see people out here complaining that we ain't paying $95 a game, but they complaining about the developers trying to keep the doors open. We can't get more games and tell them to charge us less at the same time. It's one or the other. Like we've been saying, it's a business. You either keep the doors open and you put out a game. It's a fantastic game. People love it, and people have the option to skip the stuff they don't want to do.
All right, check it out. Right again,
the problem becomes where does that line stop?
Okay, listen. I got something for you right here. My man, former Cobra. Again, shout out for dropping 5 in the super chat. And this got brought up in what I was saying, but I didn't really indulge into it because Garrett said, some things. But he said, remember Gears 3, you can buy cameos outright, the characters for $2, right? which I don't have a problem with. Now you have to drop X amount of dollars for a chance of getting that personal that gun. It's like loot creep equals gambling. It's like a slot machine.
Right.
And you're absolutely right. And that's one thing I don't. And again, I spent about $30 real money on Gears of War, trying to get some Lotus characters or whatever the case may be, better characters. And I might get a bunch of skins for a shotgun that I didn't want, you know what I mean, or for the the Devil's Punisher gun or whatever, you know what I mean. And it's like kind of like gambling, where they keep you spending, and how they nickel and dime. Now listen, now that I don't. He has a point there. You know what I'm saying? It's not that you get to pay for whatever item that you want. Okay, I don't have a problem with that. If you want to be big bank Hank and you want to go out there and buy whatever character, cool. But I got to keep spending the will to get whatever said character.
For a chance to get it, yeah. Just for a chance to get it.
That's what I'm talking about, opening up Pandora's box. I know we don't have to do it, you know what I mean? But a lot of things, again, you can't get unless you, right.
See, that's a good point. Like you said this now, though, man. Like there's a lot of skins and gears that I want, but I can never get unless I buy these crates. Yeah, we hear you, Halo. Yeah. I can never get these items unless I buy these crates. I can't progress through the story, whatever XP to buy those. So there's instances like that too, where stuff is locked behind a paywall in a sense because you can't get it, in game. You have to buy this stuff.
In regards to Gears, they do charge you for the esports stuff. But a lot of the stuff as far as the crates, if you play multiplayer and things like that, and you get your credit up, then you can get you can spend a lot of in-game credits.
Oh, you can
getting some of that stuff. I got
not on the legendary ones, or them or the like the black platinum skin or whatever it's called.
Well, it depends. If you they got a feature on there where you can break down some of the cards you get.
Oh yeah,
where you can scrap them.
Right. Yeah, okay.
You scrap enough stuff, you can create.
yeah, but you
right. That's the other. That's sorry. Good. That's the other. You're saying. Go ahead. Next time.
No. I was just saying we're gonna switch the topics here, but even with like scrapping stuff,
that's still bullshit.
Yeah, because it's like GameStop. I spent $60 for it, but you're gonna give me $40 in scrap metal. But this guy was
40. They'll try like 15, man.
Man, I'm saying
for something like $20 at GameStop.
Boy, in the 90s, it was fun. The $49.99.
We got Halo Storm. Is your mic? You got a mic, Halo Storm?
Yeah, what's up?
All right. All right, man. About time you came with the show.
First time I heard your voice.
Don't sound like you talking for a pillow.
All right. Last time I heard Halo Storm, he was saying "pa" or "pappy" or something. I haven't heard from him since. But anyway, moving right along. Do you want to say something about the microtransactions, or you was ready to switch to the next topic?
I was going to say. I started listening to this for like midway through, so just get to the next one.
All right, not a problem. All right, question. Actually, not a question, a comment statement. Okay, I said something last week. We're gonna do 2 more topics to get up out of here. I said something last week on the multiplayer podcast, right? I said on one of my many rants about Zoo Tycoon and Lucky Tales, right?
Phantom Dust.
Original assets, right? All right. One of my meltdowns that I had here, and I said, and just looking at the, like I said, one thing I what Xbox guys don't do, they don't look at the whole year. They look at the end of the year, but forget, what came out at the beginning of the year. All Microsoft really had this year, was Halo Wars 2, Voodoo Vince, and we already know the story. It was very, very weak, right? Now, the end of the year, we got Cuphead, which turned out to be really big for them, which I've always wanted Cuphead. I always said I wanted Cuphead, and Forza 7. And I guess, and again, with all the critical acclaim that PUBG is getting, did I make the mistake or maybe judging Microsoft too soon as far as the exclusive content on their box? You know what I mean? Because let's be honest, Forza kind of destroys Gran Turismo, and Cuphead is destroying that, right?
Is that a trick question?
Yeah, because good.
It's not really a loaded question. I'm just trying to say is, you know what I mean?
I think you're correct in your assumption. They're still way behind on the on the exclusive side. I mean, they have Forza's a quality title, but other than that, you had Cuphead that was turned out to be a good game. That's not a big AAA. That's not a big huge moneymaker for them. They're still behind on that, and I think you were right in that assumption.
Yeah, the second up wags, man. Look, here's the thing. I get that Sony got a lot more volume, but let's even forget about Sony. It's about what we expect from Microsoft. Microsoft last gen, even though it wasn't their first party studios, they brought us BioShock. They brought us Mass Effect. We're not seeing that quality right now. So even though Forza's doing better than what Sony did, who cares what Sony did? We want that quality.
And my man. You know what? Hey, you know what? Hey, my man. You know what? Hey, Moss, you might get comment today. They might $20 in your PayPal. Listen, right? Look, I want you guys to weigh in on this. But you said something like a lot on these shows, right? I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, a lot of time, I got a famous saying. I said sometimes the smartest person in the room is the person you think is the smartest person. And so a lot of time I dumb myself down more or less, right? I play the blind. You know what I mean? And to make it interesting. You trust me. There's no one that can out-debate me, out-talk me. I can sell sand on the beach. I'm a hustler's hustler. Trust me, okay? I would have you question your religion, your wife, your marital status. Listen, you are not going to argue me out, debate me. Trust me. You're not going to get the last word in, right? But I said this, right? And when I say this, right, and I love my brothers. K Mega is a personality on itself. K Mega, but it's a good dude. You know what I mean? And we always go back there, or those crapping those guys always go back to say that but what Sony is doing. You know what I mean? Now listen, I started off this whole, just how you say refer and deflect, this whole how you say damage control. Well, not even so much damage control. The Xbox say this side of things as far as, hey, well, look what Sony doesn't have over there. I kind of invented it for this generation, right? But at the end of the day, I have expectation. Now, and I go back to what I said about 2 years ago when I spoke to Southbound on the phone, right? And I said that looking at what we had in previous generations to be guaranteed in Gears, Forza, and Halo, right? I don't understand when me even saying that guaranteed to say that's all that we had. I understand that we got a Rise. I understand that we got a Quantum Break. I understand that we got a Sunset Overdrive, but we're not guaranteed to get a sequel. Now, I don't know if they don't understand it. Maybe it's like I say, I would hate that they think it's the color of my skin, not the content of my character. I'm making obvious when I say that. I understand that we got other games besides that, but they're not invested in those IPs. So check it out, right? You said something perfect, right? And I never really said it like that because I wanted to go on and on to make it fun and entertaining, right? And our expectations success for me being the Xbox guy, you know what I mean? And I got to thinking, I said, you know what, maybe it's not really a pony thing or an Xbox thing. A fanboy is a fanboy. Like I literally, listen, I was naive. I held Xbox guys to a higher standard than Sony guys. I always thought the Sony guys would take whatever Sony dished out with Nintendo guys and that's it, right? I didn't think Xbox guys would like that. Like, remember we all fanboys at the end of the day. We all are biased. It's nature, right? You know what I mean? It's not just with consoles, with cars. You may like BMW, you may like Mercedes-Benz, you might like LGs. I may be a Samsung fanboy. It's just the nature of man, right? But when I was trying to say, like, what made me an Xbox gamer or, what I expect from them. You understand what I'm saying? That all of that got lost in translation, you know what I mean? And I'm glad that you said it just like that, you know what I mean? And I wasn't, but you the cat is under the bag. So going forward, now, good point, Moss, you know what I mean? Like I said, you listen, you get the Loot Crate box of the day for that one right there, right? Going forward, right? Hear me out, right? And what's on the horizon? Now, I didn't think Cuphead would be as big as it did. You know what I mean? Just being honest, you know what I mean? I didn't think because everyone's talking about Cuphead. And maybe it's the art style. And I'm a little older, 39 years old. I remember cartoons like that. And I think maybe it's the art style more than anything. Because maybe it had another art style, it wouldn't be as popular as it is. The whole old school cartoon Disney, type thing. You know what I mean?
It's all hand drawn too. It's a big.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Dope. You know what I mean? I think it should do well. Going forward, all right. You know what I mean? And I said again, and I'm gonna choose my words wisely here, okay? Because I want you guys. I don't want to influence any of you guys' opinion on this, right? What we have right now, what's on the table right now? We have what? PUBG, maybe, I don't know if they're gonna lock it down. I heard 3 months deal, I heard 6 month deal. I don't know, you know what I mean? But I believe it or not, that company's kind of huge now too. They're worth like $4.7 billion. They're not, I'm not saying that Microsoft can't pay to lock it down because they can,
Yeah, that's
they locked down Titanfall with EA, and EA's for how many billions of dollars. It's not that they can't do the deal, right? My question is to you guys, you know what I mean? And I want you guys' honest opinion, you know what I mean? Try to put your biases to the side, you know what I mean? Do you think Microsoft, at the end of the day, has we're still a business, but the gamer, the core, what made them, or what made you an Xbox? What made you an Xbox fan? You think Microsoft is still delivering, or is going to deliver on that? You know what I mean? Last statement. First generation, we got Halo, right? Second generation, we got Gears. Third generation, what have we got? So answer the question. Choose your answer honestly.
I think Microsoft is on the right path. I think it was that Phil went over and got those new studios. But I think we're going to have to be patient. I think they know the situation that they're in, that they need new exclusives. I think they've gone out and done what they need to do, and we just have to be patient. These games are not made overnight. I don't think we're going to start seeing the new stuff that Microsoft is producing until at least E3. I don't think we're really going to start seeing these titles till like late next, close to Christmas this time next year. And I don't think it's just Microsoft. I think it's all the companies. They've all become a little bit stagnant. Just gaming in general, we're just getting the same type of games with a different color lipstick on it, basically. Like Shadow of Mordor, as great of a game it is, it's similar to Assassin's Creed. It's similar to Arkham Knight. The gameplay, we've done that. I have yet to
see that shit is nowhere near as hard as Assassin's Creed or Arkham Knight. I'm sorry,
but the combat, the combat is pretty much the same. Regardless, there hasn't been a game this generation that has really like, holy shit, like what is this? This is different. I think Cuphead, the reason why Cuphead is getting so much success is because it kind of does give you that. It's like, what is this? This is so different to anything I've ever played. It looks beautiful. It's hard as hell. It's rewarding. It checks all the check marks what a game should check for a gamer. And I think that is the reason for the success of that game. And I just think games in general, we need some new shit, some new ideas, some new type of action game that have some elements, stuff that's different. Maybe it looks different. Maybe it's completely photorealistic. Like when Max Payne came out back in the day, Max Payne was like, and it was nothing like we've seen before. It was so photorealistic. It was like, holy shit, sometimes you just sit there and look at it. The original Gran Turismo, when that came out, we never seen anything like that with racing games before. It was like, what the fuck is this? Gears of War, same type of thing. But ever since really the 360 era, they have really, all the companies have not dropped any games that just say, wow, what is this?
You know what?
Damn.
Big up to Xavier Bay for the $10. He said, glad to have you back, Z Bang Bang. You know what I'm saying?
Appreciate it.
Yo, to add to that, I was where D was at not too long ago. But then if you look at the whole portfolio or the whole actions of Microsoft recently, not locking down PUBG, man, there should be duffel bags. They just throw in their Blue Hole Studio. You know what I'm saying? I get that there's games coming, but what you don't see is you don't see that fight for that innovative thing. Kind of like what D was saying. You don't see that fight. Like even though the game didn't do too well, what was that White Knights game? Oh man, that they had that,
White Knight Chronicles?
Not White Knight. It was made White Knight Studios. They made this game that really
what generation?
Last generation. But my point is that
nights or something?
My point is that what Microsoft did last gen is they went to all the Western developers. They said, look, Sony want to focus on the Eastern and the Asian developers. Look, the new thing is the Western developers.
Yes, sir.
Let's bring them to light. They're not really doing that right now. Like Microsoft should be sitting there with the people that made Witcher 3. That's, and got games cranking out from Western developers, and they get back in that mode. If they get back in that mode, if they bring the Elder Scrolls and the stuff like that, and they got that as exclusives, you know what I'm saying? They can get back in there with something fresh and something new.
I'm going to just touch on what you said there. And I'm always hard on marketing, and I'm going to be hard on marketing until they fix their shit. Yeah. The marketing is so passive.
Horrible.
Like Microsoft, okay, that's fine. They want to be the big brother, the gentleman. They want to hold that image. But you know what? You get slapped around so much that people think you're a bitch. You know what I'm saying? And you ain't, no, for real, you ain't no bitch. You could go and hire some hitters to take care of these people. You really ain't no bitch. They got the money, but I don't know, they're marketing. Like, I'll give you an example. I saw something on AMD's Twitter, I don't know, like 2-3 days ago. Intel released Coffee Lake, right? So of course we know Coffee Lake is going to compete with Ryzen, right? And it's getting good favorable reviews, whatever. AMD did not sit down. They put up some tweets with Ryzen on a coffee bag saying, why have coffee when you can have tea? Why wait for coffee when you can have tea now? Because like the Coffee Lake stuff is basically a soft launch, a paper launch, so they don't really have the product. They don't really have many of the products. They don't have many of the motherboards. So you really can't get it till next year. But, you know, and AMD was aggressive. They didn't just sit down and be polite. They went after them. Like they're always digging at them. They're digging at their competition. Microsoft is just passive. Like they should really be use their slogan or their marketing to emphasize the fact that Xbox One is going to have a lot of true native 4K AAA games, not this dynamic 4K that Sony is pushing. All of a sudden, Sony is now pushing a dynamic 4K for their PS4 Pro. Why is Microsoft not taking advantage of that? Letting the gamers know. Why did they just sit there and say, you know what, the box is a good box, and if the gamers like it, they like it, and you know what, it's okay if Sony exists. This is your competition. Let me.
I'm gonna sleep across this.
Oh man. Wait, hold on, man. See what you gonna say, man? Your mic is going in and out.
We're gonna start with Microsoft as a whole. Everybody keeps looking at Microsoft as Xbox. What you saying?
Turn your mic up. Yeah, you finish. I have to turn your mic up.
Xbox has the same thing. Sony as a whole is PlayStation. Nintendo as a whole is Nintendo. So their only real source of income at this point in time are those things. Like Sony makes stuff on like chips and their gambling and insurance. PlayStation is the bulk of their cash flow at this point in time. So everybody keeps looking at their marketing and their, I guess, their focus on those things, and then looking at Microsoft like, what y'all doing? Now, as an Xbox gamer, yes, I want Xbox to just go back, do what y'all do. As a Microsoft investor, I understand what's happening. Because Microsoft is not competing with Sony. Microsoft's not competing with Nintendo. Microsoft is competing with Apple. Microsoft is competing with Google. They're competing with companies that are making money. Us, looking at it from the outside, like, Microsoft, y'all got all this money.
No.
I kind of want to take this one.
I can't let that slide. You know what? I can re-clarify Microsoft and Xbox division. The Xbox division is competing directly against the Sony PlayStation division. They should be aggressive against them, regardless of who their umbrella falls underneath. They are not aggressive against Sony. They just
you got to sit this one out, baby. We can't hear you, baby. Your mic sounds like you got it. You know, I'm be squeaky clean the show, but your mic is between your buttocks right now, bro. We can't hear you. So you got to listen. You got to take this, get this work. And just sit out, man, and come back next week.
Take a knee.
Yeah, take a knee on this one. We can't hear you, bro.
Can I just?
Yeah. Go ahead. All
right, listen. Phil already told you exactly why you haven't found that trend-setting game this generation. He already told you when he was telling you guys about how games with games as a service is just a new big thing. That's all they're trying to make now. Do you not see it? It's everywhere, bro. Yep. That's all they care about. Microtransactions, games with service. That's all they care about.
That's what
everything. It's just what it is. They're going with what is making money. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot missing from this generation that we had last generation. There's no mech games. There's no where's Ninja Games?
I'm trying to ask you, are you saying that it's okay? Because
it's not okay.
Okay. The reason why I ask, because what I'm saying is this, right? We can almost guarantee that Horizon is going to be a franchise now, right? You agree with that?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. All right. We can agree that maybe ARMS. What I don't know what Nintendo came out with this year, or ARMS or something. What's the big game for Nintendo? That's going to be a franchise or something.
Splatoon.
Splatoon. That's going to be a franchise for them. You know, it came out this generation. We haven't got, whether service based or not. You know what I mean? We haven't got that, and that's why you know, which is cool. You want to do the things, you keep paying. I don't have a problem with that, but we haven't got that from Microsoft yet, as far as game wise, and that's why I asked the questions. Remember, in I believe it was 2014, I was really dug in this console wars fighting back. Capcom was having trouble financially, and they said that they were open to selling IPs. And I said to my man Blazing Phoenix, he was out on Twitter, Microsoft buy such and such, and Microsoft buy this, and they didn't buy any of that. You know what I mean? They were selling IPs. You know what I mean? And so that's why I asked the question. You know, raise the question, like, you know, or, you know, where's their heart at, or where's their head at? You know what I mean? I understand it's a business at the end of the day, and I understand that you guys invested $2 billion at the start of the generation into exclusive. I give you all of that, right? But like I told South, it's coming from the original Xbox when I had games like Breakfast, Midtown Madness. You like the Microsoft, Garrett. You had all these different games, Project Gotham, and you also had the Forza. You had all these different games to be guaranteed now, again, just to get a Gears, Forza, and a Halo. You know, me myself, I just got back into Gears, okay? I mean, I just got into Gears. That's going to be my shooter. I'm not a big fan of Halo. I'm not really too big into racers. So Sony and Microsoft share the same multiplayer, more or less, right? They're spiking everything right. Sony and Microsoft share the same multiplex, right? So if somebody can't afford both consoles and they want to invest in, you know, what can I get on the Xbox outside of, you know, I'm not really big into Halo. Forza is okay, maybe Gears, but what can I get that's going to really join me and I can enjoy? Just somebody, you know what I mean? You understand? Outside of you know what I mean? That's when I raised when I say that they were in a very peculiar situation. Okay,
I gotta agree with D on this, and I want to just elaborate on what he said earlier, because I know I spoke of this in the past on past podcasts that we've had in regards to on both sides, on all three sides. There hasn't been a genre-defining game on both sides. We keep getting the same content, which is causing us to regurgitate some of the same conversations and debates in regards to whether it's gaming, whether it's graphics or frame rate, or even, as we're speaking about now, microtransactions. It has to become at some point, and whether it's Microsoft, Sony, or Nintendo, developers as a whole need to find something to spark some creativity in regards to the content we're getting. But we as gamers got to hold them accountable, because if we allow them to take a game, rehash it, and just throw great graphics on top of it and give you a steady frame rate and you're content with that, then they're going to keep giving you that. So the gamers, we have to force the developers to start putting out better work and better content. And in regards to Microsoft, this generation, in regards to their first party content, it is terrible. I think the last big title they had was Gears of War, that kind of really set things ablaze. But I do agree with D in regards to Phil that he's going to need time. These games is going to take time. I'm thinking probably, I'm not even thinking E3 next year. I think we might get something there. I think we probably really don't see anything really come to fruition probably until at the end of 2018 going into 2019. Obviously, the ball should be rolling by 2019. That's what I expect.
But post up, that's what worries me about Microsoft. How many times are we going to sit here and say, wait until E3, wait until the next holiday season?
Hey, let me tell you something.
No. Let me tell you something. These deals should have been made.
Talk about it.
Okay, why are we saying like, oh, Phil now got the deals done? Why wasn't this done 2 years ago? He knew this was going to be bad, but he sat and he did nothing. I know you're going to say, oh, he made the hardware, but you have to have first party. Look at what Sony's doing. They had the hardware in the beginning. and their first party's gonna kill it. Let's not damage control that.
Yeah. I mean,
and at the end of the day, we can't sit here and take it. We should demand better, like you said.
I'm not damage controlling anything.
You sure?
I'm sure. Because as far as I'm concerned, I think this probably is the first time that we're saying wait. Because if I'm looking at years back, it was the Sony fans pretty much was at a point where they were saying wait to this, then wait to that, and we was clowning them for that. We was clowning them for that.
But you're admitting that because you went back on me in a couple of shows when I raised these same, like I said, next gen sometimes I don't mind being the sacrificial lamb. I remind myself, I compare myself to Noah. I'm out there building that ark, and I'm telling you the rain is coming. It's been sunny for the last 27 and a half days, right? It's gonna come to storm, and everything that you guys are saying, something I've been saying. Oh wow! And again, now it took me a while to see it because again, I have a conversation sometimes with some other people that are a little bit more in the loop than I am. You know what I mean? They look at it more on the business side of things. And that's why, again, like I said, I listen. Everything that I do is not by accident. Trust me. Some of the things that I say, and like I know I said to you guys, that Turn 10 can make something outside of Forza. You know what I mean? And again, I didn't just pick that studio just to pick that studio. What I'm saying is that and again, not maybe saying a little too much here. No one goes to school to put themselves $100,000 in debt just to make car games going around around the track. They can do other things, you know what I mean? So again, that's coming from within inside the camp, you know what I mean? That's not me just pulling it out my ass. You will never hear me come out and make a blanket statement and say that people stay behind at 3-4 studios because they love making Halo. Like, no, that's crazy in itself. You know what I mean? People stay behind because they got bills, they got insurance, they got this, they got that, you know what I mean? So for job security. Now, so again, and I think it's all good. And if people say we got to give Phil time, but people act like Phil was the janitor. Phil had Shannon's Loftus job before he became the head honcho. So Phil has always been within the loop. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm just saying, but he's always been a boss. This is what people.
But he still had to answer to Donnie D, which is your boy. Which probably shot down a lot of his ideas. Okay. Your boy, who you back? Who shot down Minecraft?
Wait, but Post Up, you're just setting yourself up. What about the current person ahead of games? And look at what we're getting now.
Shannon Loftus is in his place. So if anything,
but it doesn't matter.
Like, what are we getting?
If anything, we should be scrutinized Shannon Loftus.
I know what you mean, but like, hold on. You said Donnie D shot out a lot of games. What the heck is Shannon Loftus doing? Why is Phil approving these games?
That we don't know yet. That we don't know. We're gonna find out pretty soon.
A fish rots at the head. Look, here's the thing, man. Straight up. When you have a system where you ain't trying to compete, not saying that they shouldn't, their competitor is Sony. But believe you me, Microsoft's approach is, hey, look, everybody's on graphics. See, this is our fault. Everybody's on graphics. They was at Sony's E3 raising championship belts over graphics. Mm-hmm. That's what the game is about. That's where they get to the point, like Garrett said, they just focus on service-based games because everybody's focused on graphics. So if we just give you a game where you be grinding for 13 hours a day, then you should be happy. But that's the problem. We, like you said, Post Up, we got to get them to focus on the unique experiences. But we're the ones that started this problem. You know what I'm saying? And Microsoft is responding to it, and they're responding to it in a way that people like me, Z, Neith, everybody's like, hold on, we don't like this direction. Despite the $2 billion, what are they investing that $2 billion in? And it sure as hell ain't locking up games like PUBG.
Where does $2 billion come from?
No. But I said $2 billion. You said what is Donnie D on the D? Donnie allocated $2 billion for games, and
exactly.
What has Phil?
I think it was $1 billion.
It was $1 billion, and I didn't even see that whole $1 billion.
No, it was $1.
I didn't even see that whole $1 billion being used. Can you tell me what that $1 billion? Because $1 billion is a lot. You know how many games you can get out of $1 billion?
Yeah, can you answer the question for us, Post Up?
Can you answer? It was $1 billion, and then it was greenlighted for another $1 billion. For 3-4 years. 3-4 years down the line. But what I'm saying is this though, is that we had 4 games. Well, the new game we got under Donnie D. And I don't want to make the Donnie D thing. It's getting old, but we've got, the games, the Sunsets, the whatever the case that we all enjoy, that we like, that we like, that we're not getting sequels to. You understand what I'm saying? And what I'm saying is this: when people say give Phil time, Phil has always been a boss. Like he wasn't a janitor then. Like he's known that this is the last AAA. He knew that Gears is going to be the last. He knew this. He's already a boss then. You know what I mean? So when Capcom says that we're selling IPs or whatever the case may be, and you don't go in there and especially you don't have your own studios or whatever's going on. You know what I mean? Which I think that in itself, which I think is crazy. You know what I mean? That's what it becomes.
How we don't know they didn't go in there? How we don't know Microsoft didn't approach them and ask them for certain IPs? And let me get on Nito because Nito trying to test my skills right now, and I'm gonna have to tell him something. Look,
Phil been in Japan twice since he's been involved.
Yeah, he just went out there recently. Microsoft is not the only company that's moving towards a service-based strategy. EA. Look at what they're doing at GTA. All the developers are moving towards a service-based strategy because it's a means of for financial means. You know what I'm saying? To get money. Now, in regards to this game issue, if Nito's got some people that he know can put out AAA games in a couple months, then send them to Microsoft, bro.
No, hold on. You're twisting my words, though.
Yeah, I'm not. Y'all asking for instant gratification. You're asking for instant gratification. You're asking for games now, and they don't work like that.
Okay.
It don't. Phil just took over. It's a whole new strategy that they're transitioning from. And y'all think we're using this
Phil took over in like 2014, dude. He knew 2017 could look bad. And what did he do? He delayed out games, and now we have nothing. We had Halo Wars 2 that went in the bargain bin the next week. He should have known to sign up deals real quick. What did he do?
We don't know. Look, Halo Wars 2 going in the bargain bin is not Phil's fault. It's the fact that Xbox gamers asked for games, certain games. They wanted different games. He gave you Sunset Overdrive. Nobody brought it. He gave you Quantum Break. Nobody brought it.
Wait, post it now. You're trying to trick us because
hold on, Z. If you said that Phil Spencer was in Shannon Loftus' spot, meaning he was the manager of the
all right, because you're not going to listen. Listen. You ain't going to trick me with you.
No, I ain't going to trick you.
This is what I said.
You said Phil has Shannon off this spot. Then he's the manager of all the developers.
Oh, you ready?
He's the manager of the studios.
When I said the budget, when I say that Phil, that those games got greenlighted from what's my man's name?
Donnie D, right?
Yeah, they got greenlight. But what I'm saying, you said no one bought it. You're gonna look at the install base was in 2014. Okay, was not the same install base that you have right now. You know what I mean? Had Quantum Break came out maybe this year with it sold better, yeah. But also too, you gotta realize this too. You all know why. And I like games like Quantum Break. It got slammed on because of the resolution, and a lot of people that may have bought Xboxes or whatever the case, they no longer have to. Never rubbed a lot of people a wrong way. Believe people, sometimes it's not that big of a deal to me. I'm not going to cut off one of those to spite my face, but there were a lot of people that look at somebody like Porter Rock. He's waiting to get an Xbox just for what's the game? The game they got scaled down. You got people out there, a lot of people out there. You know what I mean? I'm not saying they're the masses, but a sell is a sell at the end of the day. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But that's what I'm saying. You understand? Those games, the budget box.
Let me respond to that.
That's what I mean.
Okay, if you said that Donnie D greenlighted Quantum Break, and then Phil Spencer was the manager of all the studios at the time in regards to gaming and getting third-party games, that means he brought Quantum Break to Donnie D to greenlight. Okay, number two. We can't play this thing with install base saying that the reason why Quantum Break didn't sell because of the install base was different. If that's the case,
I think it was bad publicity.
If that's the case, Sunset Overdrive. If that's the case,
or was
we cannot continue to use.
I bought the game. I like the game. I beat the game. I bought it. I mean,
you like Quantum Break?
Yeah,
I like the idea of it, man. It was
if that's the case in regards to stall base, we cannot continue to use Titanfall as an example of a game selling doing high numbers on a small install base.
But what is Microsoft known for?
Those type of games, like Titanfall, shooters.
Yeah, that's shooters.
Shooter box. Still, it shouldn't matter. It's install base. You saying install base. You saying that we preach, Xbox gamers preach about diversity, about getting something different outside of Halo and Gears. And when the games come and they don't do the numbers, then you cannot put that on Phil or whoever's in charge.
So it's the gamer's fault. So it's the gamer's fault.
Yeah, because
Sunset
Overdrive was a dope game.
Yeah,
it was dope. Online and a single player aspect. It was a dope. It was a dope game. You know what I'm saying? It was something different. It was something different.
Gamer's fault.
All those games that we talking about now, wasn't they greenlit by Donnie D? Those are games Donnie D. So Donnie D tried to put out the volume.
Phil Spencer brought them to the table because he was the head of studios.
I know, but hold on. Phil's the head honcho. Phil is the head honcho, right? So he can move positions, he can approve games and so on. So why is he not moving Chan Loftus? He's giving him games that are complete crap, but instead of denying them, he's approving them. But who wants
what did she give him?
But what
did she give him?
I will say this.
What did she give him? What did she give him?
Hold on. I will say this in regards to Shannon Loftus. On the outside looking in, she's not living up to what gamers' expectation is in regards to Xbox. But no. Listen, I'm not doing no damage controlling. I'm just saying, like if I'm running the company, right, and I got more inside knowledge than the person that's on the outside that's making assumptions about what's going on the inside.
Okay,
you don't know. At this point, we're making assumptions in regards to what she's doing. And as far as games right now and what we're seeing, yes, on the outside looking in, she's doing a bad job. But in regards to what they know on the inside that's going on and the future contract that they're making with studios and things like that, we don't know. So at this point, everything we talk about in regards to gaming and what they're doing is assumption.
Wait, no, Z, hold on. So, post up. Are you saying wait until E3 next year? Again?
I'm not saying. Let me look.
Hold on. I want to also tell the audience something.
Look, let me tell you something. I say this and I said this. No, hold on. You hold on. Let me get because you tested my mic right now. You tested my mic right now. Look, I have said this over and over again. Phil made a conscientious choice to work on Xbox Live in the hardware. Whether that has a negative or a positive impact, some gamers liked it, some gamers don't like it, but he got it out the way, so now he can focus on games. Are they going to come now? Is it the instant gratification that we want? No. Do we have to wait? Yes. When? We don't know. Is it next E3? We don't know. Couldn't. At this point, we have to wait.
To post up.
Wait, hold on. So, ladies and gentlemen, he's not saying wait until next E3. He's saying wait until whatever E3. Mind you, behind the scenes, I am seeing a big K coming out of Post Up's picture right now. And I don't know, I think Omega is also following.
Hold up. I got you, Post. Can y'all hear me better now? Is it a little better? Slightly better? Right. So this one we gonna go. I got you, Post. Don't worry about this. So what y'all saying? Because this is what I heard. I've been listening the whole time. Now, first y'all went. Donnie D was responsible for everything that we got at the beginning of this generation.
Yes.
Now y'all saying Phil is responsible for getting nothing. Saying since he was in charge, it's his problem. It's either he was in charge and he brought us games or he didn't. Which one is happening? Because y'all said both of them in the last 15 minutes. I listen. Wait. No. Take this work. Get your colostomy bag, sit in the corner. I got this. Now, you know I'm savage. Straight savage. Now, since y'all went from two completely different sides of the spectrum. Y'all went from two completely different sides of the spectrum in the last 15 minutes. Either Phil was in charge and gave y'all games, or he's in charge now and doesn't. One or the other. You can't have it both ways. Now, along with what Post said, Right now, Microsoft's problem is not that they don't have a plan, it's that we don't know what the hell it is. And I've been saying this for months now. It's the scale-bound syndrome. It's the scale-bound syndrome. It's the scale-bound syndrome. Everybody hopped on Phil when they canceled scale-bound, but scale-bound was a business decision. We don't know all the details, but everybody's like, oh, you announce games and you do nothing but cancel it. So he's like, I'm not announcing nothing. That is his strategy. That is a bad strategy, sure, but that is their strategy. And you'll be like, okay, so Post saying you focusing on hardware and Xbox Live. So is everybody on this panel telling me that they don't want the Xbox One X? You wanted the same Xbox One S from here forward.
I just want to say,
asking the question. You said no, lethal, because you number one. About 3 minutes ago, bruh. About 3 minutes ago, when he said they focused on hardware and live, you said that was a bad strategy. So focusing on making the Xbox One X was a bad strategy.
But he been pumping
on the power.
I said you could just get games also. Like, come on,
so
man.
Focusing on the Xbox One X is a power. Is a problem, correct?
That's
is it a problem? It's a yes or no. It's a yes or no question, bro. You also sit in the corner. Hold Z's colostomy bag. Hold Z's colostomy bag. You sit in the corner over there too.
Man, step back from the mic a little bit. The hypocrisy. The hypocrisy.
It's so much back and forth with the same exact thing. I've been listening to the conversation. I ain't saying nothing, bro.
The hypocrisy.
Mass sounds like Samuel Jackson in Django.
The hypocrisy is we slam Phil for taking time to work on Xbox Live and bring us new hardware. The Xbox getting slammed for being a weaker console, and yet in the same sentence, we slamming him for not having game, but praising him for bringing the Xbox One X.
Listen,
you know what I'm saying?
Listen, I'm gonna say this. We're gonna close the show with this, right? Because that wasn't you guys took what you want from that, okay? What I said, I'm just pointing out. Take the mask off for a second. I'm pointing out the missteps because you said you have to give Phil time, and all I said and what Nicholas said is Phil has always been in a key position to give the Xbox games. Okay, it's all that we're saying. It's not that we don't. It's not, and again, and that's a poor job as an executive said he couldn't focus on games because he had to focus on this. That's what you call an excuse and a cop out. Okay, we don't listen. If Sony can do it with how you say a fifth of the resources as the Xbox, Microsoft, then why can't Microsoft? That is a poor excuse. All I'm saying is this: under Phil's range, you know what I mean? Is that game wise, okay? Like, you know, whether you like the game, whether who bought the game or not, okay? I bought the game. Now I don't buy. Listen, it's not my job to buy every game. You know, I'm not gonna buy Lucky Tales or whatever. It doesn't appeal to me. Okay, I'm not gonna just go out and buy it because it's an Xbox game. But I support my platform of choice. I bought the Quantum Breaks. I bought the Ride. I bought all those games, right? You know what I mean? What I said too, then, like I said, was one of the reasons why Quantum Break got slammed a little bit is because of the resolution thing. You know what I mean? And then some people, you know what I mean? It went to PC. They may have bought the game. You know, not some of the PC guys get that. You know what I mean? And that's neither here nor there. All right. So what I'm saying is this: if Phil's already knew that the last most AAA game they had was going to be Gears of War, the meat and potato wise. You know what I mean? Even though, like I said, Forza is a big game for them, but it is a niche title. Races are a niche, title. You know what I mean? Especially simulation races. I mean, that's just in fact, it's not my opinion.
You know what?
Now, that's all that I'm saying. You know what I mean? Now, to say that there's not no problems there, and are we going to have to wait? Yes, I understand that. Okay, but I'm just saying this year was wretched. Okay. Yeah. I don't know if, and again, I hate to say that, fans are fickle. You know how it is what it is, but I expect more from my platform of choice. And I'm gonna quote. We can do the statement here. Remember, I told you guys that I had more faith in the product when they were getting stomped out by Sony with the original Xbox. When you had Bomber there and those guys, because they really believed in the product. I didn't really get that. You know what I mean? And again, with the whole regime change and shake up, I didn't realize that Phil had a boss, my man Terry. And I heard, it is what it is. It's neither here nor there. Now, Phil, again,
All I'm saying, under Phil's reign, some of the decisions that were made, Xbox Play Anywhere, no stuff. We can look whether I know that Mads may use it, D may use it, even
I've used it,
or whatever the case may be, may use it, okay? But it wasn't a hit because when what happened is Microsoft started to focus on things. They lost, how you say, focus on what they core or what made them the Xbox. Exactly. The average Xbox gamer don't care about Play Anywhere, Windows, this, that, and the other. Now when they're starting out their E3s, is the Windows 10 event, is that your console gamer, again, it's a console. Yeah. You understand that? Your core, your audience don't care about any of that. So I started to, again, was I a little over the top? Yes. You know what I mean? With my delivery, you know what, the Zoo Tycoon. Because when you make decisions like that, that's not your core. Your core is not, believe it or not, you're not really into, I understand you have a variety, but the Zoo Tycoons, the Disneylands, like, come on, what are we doing here? Like we allocated the budget. Let me say this last. You allocated the budget for that, but you cheaped out on we could have had a true next generation of quantum, not quantum, what's it called again? Phantom Dust. You know what I mean? $8 million they make the game, but you spend the money to doll those games. That's why I'm saying I'm questioning the marketing bills. Again, remember Phil said this on his own mouth. Okay, he don't think it's healthy for healthy for gaming. If games or gamers or the whole stuff back in gamers, you know what I mean? The deals that Sony were doing, he didn't, the deals that Donnie D, with the third party that he, made popular, that Sony just basically took the play out of Donnie D's way. Phil started saying publicly that he didn't think that was healthy for gamers. Phil's only job is to worry about us here.
Exactly. That's
my point. That's the issue. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Canceled games. I think Scalebound, and I said it before it got canceled. I said I wasn't interested. It looked kind of corny to me. I think the game was probably trash. There's no way they're gonna cancel a game that is good. That they
frame rate issues and engine problems.
Yeah. Look at that demo they showed. It was awful.
And for the other game, what was that other game? I forgot the name of it right now.
Fable Legends?
No, not Fable.
Well, they got canceled. They got
the one, and they brought back the Phantom Dust. And Phantom Dust, it could have, for all we know, it probably was dog shit. I read some articles back when it was in production still, saying that they weren't happy with the way it looked and this and that. And it could be one of those issues why they canceled it to save.
They're really unhappy now. Then.
Tank.
Look, to respond to, see, we're gonna on some things I can agree with you on, and there's certain things that I disagree with you on, and I do agree with you in the respect of Microsoft losing focus on the audience that built their brand, which is the hardcore audience.
I said that about them focusing on Xbox Play Anywhere, the Windows 10 stuff.
Yeah, I agree with that. No, I agree. I agree with you. I think that took us a bit off track. In regards to Phil always having a key position, I disagree. Whenever you're in a position where you have to talk to a boss, that have to talk to another boss, that is not to get approval. That is not a key position, because even if he still wasn't in a position to bring his own concept and idea of where he thought Xbox should go to fruition, because Donnie D was controlling that vision. Whenever you're in a position, whenever you were in a position, and when you're working with a company where you have to answer to someone that answers to someone, you're never in a position to bring to fruition your vision of where you think that company should go. The only key position that Phil is in now is the position that he is in now, and that's to the right hand of the man who run the company. So he's at a position now to bring his idea
understand that, Post. I get that. I'm not negating anything, but what are some of the things that he has said publicly? You know what I mean? He don't think that's healthy for gaming.
I do agree with that. And I agree with you on that.
That's why him having this him having this lead role, it kind of scares me.
Exactly.
Phil, we have lost third-party marketing. We didn't really have that anymore. Third-party deals, more or less. We don't have any true Xbox exclusives. All that came under Phil's regime.
No. Phil came in and he started to clean up. He had to clean up.
What do you listen?
The mess that Donnie Matrick left with our fucking anemic Xbox fucking One. Okay? And once you have hold on a second. Once you have a system that gamers no longer yearn for, and it becomes the laughing stock, of course you're going to lose third-party deals. Yep. And Phil came in, and
developers didn't even like the Xbox One.
He improved the image of the Xbox One, especially with the Xbox One S. The Xbox One S was... It got such high, rave reviews. We got the Xbox One X. Xbox is in everybody's mouth right now. It takes time. You gotta give the man a chance. He had to clean up a lot of shit, man.
Listen, D, you yourself, right? Listen. I will hate to question. Listen, I will hate to question your integrity, but you yourself, since you had stock in AMD, right?
That has nothing to do with shit, man. The matter of the fact that you keep hitting on Phil and keep forgetting how Phil got there. You know, it's like I'll give you an example. It's like Obama. People shitted on Obama, but they didn't realize how they got. He got a fucking wrecked economy.
Listen, calm down.
He had to clean it up.
Next thing, no, Z. Hold on, Z. I got a question.
No. One at a time. At this point, we've been giving each other a chance to talk.
I got a question.
One at a time.
I just got a quick question. I got a quick question.
Wasn't in charge of Xbox right now. I think
one at a time. Okay,
here we go.
One at a time.
We can agree to disagree.
Honestly, if Don Matrick was in charge now, I don't even know where.
One at a time.
One at a time. One at a time, man.
One at a time. One at a time.
Okay, because again, you yourself. That's what I'm saying. You yourself said you had stock in AMD. Okay, fine. And you said that Phil bought us the Xbox One S. Phil bought us the Project Scorpion, right? If you look at the deal that they had with AMD, it's for multiple SoCs. Now, I must say, I told you this before. This is not my opinion, okay? The fact that Sony and Microsoft came out with mid-gen refreshes, this is not something that happened. It wasn't a knee-jerk reaction. This was already on the books, or was already planned to happen. Okay, so again, I say that to say this: whether Phil was there, whether whoever was there, we were getting ass.
First of all, no, that's not true. No, that's not.
Look at the deal.
No, one at a time. One at a time.
Look at the deal.
No, but it's alternate facts. That's not the way it works. Yes, they had an order. They had an order that yes, they were going to get these type of SoCs further down the line. Yeah, we're going to buy this many off of you. But you know what? When Phil got into power, it takes about 3 years for them to design it. When Phil got into power, he looked at the SoCs and he said, you know what? We need this. We need something that's more powerful than this. We're going to pass till you have something better. They had something better, and then they went forward. That's why we're getting the Xbox One X now, and that's why we got the PS4 Pro last year.
Let me say this. Can I say this? Let me say this. Let's assume that D, Mass, and Post Up is right. That Satya wouldn't sign a blank check to Phil. You know what I'm saying? He had to make one choice or the other. It was either games or the console. And he picked the console. Let's assume that. Let's fast forward to now. My thing is where I'm with Z on this is where I'm concerned. Again, we don't know for real, but I'm concerned because Phil himself said on Giant Bomb's interview at E3 where he mocked us, where we was talking about, yo, why ain't you competing? He said, my job ain't to put PlayStation in the ground. We can all make money. We can all survive together. That is a mind state that is dangerous. So I get what y'all saying. It's going to take time. I get it. But y'all should be concerned too because Phil's vision was released in that interview, and it don't sound like a competitive vision.
All right, so I got a question. Hold on. I just got a question. Z, I got a question. I got a question, Z.
Go ahead.
So, what did PlayStation have for the first 3 years over Xbox?
I don't care about play. I'm an Xbox guy. All right, listen.
I'm asking you a question.
Listen, I've always.
This isn't a PlayStation thing. This is an Xbox.
Listen, let him ask the question.
You're comparing Microsoft's strategy to Sony.
Okay, but what
thank you. Y'all been doing this for 10 minutes. So go ahead.
They had the cheaper console, $100 cheaper. They had the better version of the multiplayer. That's all they did.
Okay.
I've said this numerous
So let's say right now, going forward, we had the Xbox One S. And PlayStation had the PS4 Pro. And let's say Xbox put out some random version of the Xbox One X last year. That pretty much was the PS4 Pro. Didn't really upgrade anything, but it was a resolution bump. Would Sony be in the same position for the next 3 years?
Who's to say they're not in the same? Here's the thing. Again, I'm gonna say this. Now, see,
is a hypothetical question?
I'm gonna ask you a question.
Let's talk about it.
Okay. Now,
go ahead, bro.
Listen, when it comes to this, man, you are a baby, bro. Trust me.
Stop fighting.
You're in time.
Okay.
Listen, bro. I applaud you for trying to strike the master, the young Danielson. Hear me this, right? Okay. We're gonna compare the two.
Do you think?
Even if you're gonna say the Xbox
That's what I'm talking about.
Even the Xbox One S, right? Still, the problem with the Xbox One S, what's been the problem with the whole generation, they couldn't give us a guaranteed 1080p. Okay, so that was the fact. No one never questioned the size of the Xbox. They didn't know. It is what it is. It's under the TV. Okay, it was the fact that the console could not do 1080p on a consistent basis. That was the narrative that has been started since 2013 from Sony. That 1080p makes you a better gamer. Okay. So my man, you tried hard, but you failed in the long run. Okay. Again,
no. So PlayStation would have still had the better version of the multiplayer.
Can I ask a question? Can I ask a question?
It's a yes or no question. It's a yes or no question, bro.
Can I ask a question?
No, I got this, folks. I got this, folks. Go ahead.
Even with the Xbox One S, right?
Okay.
Isn't it not weaker than the standard PlayStation 4?
Mm-hmm. Because it's the same exact hardware. Little bump.
So, it makes no difference.
Right. So remember when I said that they would put out an Xbox One X that was similar to the PS4 Pro, where there's a little resolution bump to 1080p. Now, with that being out, because Phil said, since we keep going by Phil's words, because everybody keeps saying Phil said this in this interview, Phil said this to my mama, like all that stuff's been happening for the last 10 minutes. All this stupid stuff. So we're going by Phil's words. Phil said we had a console in 2016. We decided to make it better and put one out with 2017 hardware. Did he not say that? So let's say they put out in 2016, they put out the console that they had, and it was barely, it was similar to the PS4 Pro, but a little weaker. Okay. So now, because it's the same hardware, they just upgraded to DDR5. That's probably what they would have done. So let's say it's still weaker than the PS4 Pro.
Yes, sir.
We go forward 3 more years, and PlayStation still has the better version of the multiplex. How does Xbox compete? So they signed a bunch of third-party deals? Because we had the third-party deals at the beginning of the generation. That didn't work because they had the better version of the multiplex. Okay. So let's say we go forward, and Sony still has the better version of the multiplex. Who wins that race?
Okay. How do they compete? Okay. Who won in business? Okay. Who won in business? Okay. You always, because of always the narrative is going to change with Microsoft. And I told you, Microsoft, when it comes to work hardware-wise, no longer will they get caught with their pants down. You know what I mean? As far as that, But with business rule 101 is that you have to do everything that your competitor is doing. You know what I mean? Offer, and then something else. To separate your part. Okay. Now again, Microsoft's problem, whether it's Donnie D or whatever the case, started from 2013 was with the GIMP hardware. You know what I mean? It wasn't because again, Microsoft, whether you like those games or not, that's all subjective. Okay, fine. But they had the weaker hardware at a more expensive price, $500 to $400. Okay. How I met Tim Dog, because Tim Dog cursed Larry Merchant out on Twitter. I was just getting to Twitter. He went off because Call of Duty was 720p on a next generation console, and Sony's was 1080p. Okay. So again, Microsoft's problems was from the hardware. Now going back to the deal, like I told you guys, it wasn't a knee-jerk reaction. Because regardless of what you may think, these are billion-dollar companies. Okay, nothing happens by chance. Okay, they just didn't come out and say, "Hey, we're both committed. This whole generation is about resolution. We're going to come out with no." It doesn't go like this. Because again, once one console comes out, go and set this up. They already started making the next one. Okay?
Can I ask a question?
So I say that to see. So again, with the whole thing, that deal, because I listen to this last thing. I'm gonna check that up. My chest starting to get hell about it. Listen, trust me. I used to bring this up. Okay, I used to bring this said argument up. Pocket, and I was the whole before I met my other people, the whole Mr. Meteor X and the secret sauce. I didn't understand how Microsoft can spend $1.2 billion with AMD and come up with the weaker hardware. I didn't understand it. And what Sony spent off the shelf, Spark spent about a little close to 400 million, and that didn't really add up to me. Then I got slipped a memo under the door. Boom. And then when I again, the back when I start talking about these, Microsoft was coming up with a new console, and not Slim is not a new console. I don't know if you went on your YouTube then, but it said, well, no, listen, they always come out a revised version of whatever hardware's cheaper. They cut that on parts, they can make it smaller. That's nothing new, okay? But I said that Microsoft was coming out with new hardware, okay? And that deal from AMD covered multiple SoCs, okay? And that was before, Phil took in the position and this, that, and the other. Now, like I said, regardless of whoever was the boss, okay? We were going to get an X, you know what I mean, or the S. That was coming regardless of the fact. I mean, that was always in play. That's all that I'm saying. You know what I mean? So when all I gave the answer, you guys cursed me out. You guys sing so much praise of Phil. What has Phil given the Xbox, us, the core?
He has. I'm not praising him. You hear? Oh, I gotta say this, man. You hear what you want to hear, fam. I'm sorry, man. Listen,
let's talk about it.
You said every time. A nether box that we were going to release, and I decided against it because I didn't want to go half-assed. I wanted to go full all the way, a big difference. So they waited a year because they have a deal with them. They can build socks. Okay, we have a deal with you to fucking 2025. We're gonna build all of our. Hold on a second. They have a deal with them till 2025. We're gonna get all of our socks from you. It doesn't dictate what kind of sock it's gonna be or when it's gonna be. Bill dictated what that was gonna be, and the Xbox One X is baby. And
can I say something? Can I say something?
Hold on, let Post up speak.
You just handed yourself a major fucking L again, school shit, okay? You know why, dude? Now that you told people you're ignorant to the fact, brother, what is the problem? You mean to tell me what the specs, because we didn't get any Ryzen chip, didn't get any Vega, okay? Let's be clear this, okay? They couldn't put a console out in 2016. There's 16 flops. Choose your words wisely.
He said it was not available.
No, it was.
Choose your words wisely.
Bill said that it was not available.
They didn't get any Ryzen.
So they waited.
That's
the fact of it, bro.
Hold on.
Post up speak.
Hold on.
Phil said that the sock that they wanted was not available yet. They waited a year for it. Those are his words. I'm asking you a question. Could Microsoft have not put on a console in 2016 that was 16?
It would have been shitty. It would have been shitty. It wasn't only about the chip. It was about the size too. It was about the size of the chip as well.
Right. The die size.
The die size
cheaper in 2017. That's all. It
wasn't available. No. They showed them the roadmap.
It wasn't available.
They showed them what type. Hold on a second. You don't understand how it works.
It wasn't available.
They showed them what.
It doesn't have Vega, and it doesn't have
Ryzen. They showed them what upcoming socks were going to be available.
Somebody saw
to get that.
I will show you a memo after the show.
Can I say something?
Post up.
Z asks this question all the time. His first question that Z always asks is, what have Phil given us? And Z just dropped earlier today a promotional video for the Xbox One X. He asks, what did Phil give us? And in the same breath this morning, dropped a video on the Xbox One X. He has multiple videos about the power of the Xbox One X. Yet he asks us what Phil's giving us. I want to ask this to the panel. I want to ask this to the panel. If Phil would have went software first, will we be having this discussion right now in regards to why Phil is bringing us all this software on a weaker system? If Xbox One X was never on the table,
exactly the conversation
would have been all this software on a weaker system.
And that has been all I've been building up to. Real quick question. I got a question. So next gen, my man next gen, my dude Z, my man Ace Grown Coon. You just said that you've been saying how Phil Jackson, you've been saying how Phil,
when he's down, let's get the mic on.
Is there no one else?
Okay, cool. And I'm gonna cut this nigga Michael. Coming out, God bless.
Xbox isn't in like that bad of a state for everybody to be arguing like that.
Hit the like button, and we out here working, broadband bullies, man.
All right. Shout out to the chat.
We did not have the hardware in 2016.